Hey, friends, let's begin standing. So have your feet any comfortable width. Just close your eyes and begin to draw your awareness inward so you really notice how it feels to be in your body today at this time. And make sure you're grounding equally through both feet. And let's begin with Ujjayi Pranayama by lightly engaging your throat like you're narrowing a valve, which will help you to lengthen the breath. Maybe 5 seconds for the exhale, 5 seconds for the inhale, or something close to that. Breathing through your nose, but hearing the breath now move in and out of your throat like it's your mantra. Every time you exhale, engage your lower abdomen, lift your pelvic floor, and then when you inhale, see if you can get the low part of your rib cage to expand. All right, keep breathing this way. Open your eyes and just focus them on one spot on the floor in front of you. The next time you inhale, sweep your arms up, lift off your heels, balance on your toes, bend your elbows, and touch your shoulders. And now, as you exhale, slowly lower down. At the same time, have your heels touch the floor and your palms touch your thighs. And then repeat. Inhale, arms up, balance on your toes, and touch your shoulders. Exhale down at the same time. Have your heels touch the floor and your palms touch your thighs. Now try that 5 more times. Inhale up, exhale down. Just make sure you stretch the breath so it lasts a little bit longer than the movement does. Now keep going, but the next time you exhale, just lower halfway down. Just lower your heels and your arms halfway down. And then inhale all the way back up. Then exhale all the way down. Let's try that again. Inhale up, balance on your toes and touch your shoulders. And then exhale just halfway down. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale all the way down. And try that a couple more times. Okay, now this time, once you're down, stay down. Just gonna incorporate a little twisting next. From here, inhale, sweep your arms up and look up. As you exhale, turn your shoulders to your right and look behind you. Look towards your right thumb, let's say. Let's take a couple of breaths here. As you turn your shoulders to your right and reach with your arms, make sure you're pressing down equally into both feet, including your left foot. Press down into both feet. Okay, now the next time you inhale, bring your arms up as you untwist. So do that at the same time. And this exhale, turn your shoulders to your left, twist, look back towards your left thumb. Take a couple breaths here, and again, make sure you're pressing down equally into both feet. The next time you inhale, bring your arms up as you untwist. Let's try that a few more times. Exhale as you twist to the right, press into both feet. Inhale, reach up and untwist. This exhale, twist to the left. Yep, keep going. One more time. All right, good. Now, once you've gone to both sides, release your arms down. Let's go ahead and lean forward. Let your knees bend at least a little bit, and then go ahead and cross your arms. Allow the weight of your arms and your head to decompress your spine. Okay, good. Now, if you haven't already, separate your feet so they're at least hip width. So have your feet at least hip width and point your toes forward. Now, bring your fingertips to the floor. Just your fingertips, including your thumb tips, by the way. And come into a nice squat. So as you bend your knees, get your arms, move your arms between your knees, work your arms between your knees, and let your heels lift off the floor as well. Then just look forward. Try to extend your spine so you lengthen the area between your sternum and navel. Okay, now the next time you exhale, press your heels down and your hips up at the same time. And then repeat as you inhale, come into that squat, arms between your knees, let your heels lift up, look forward, extend your spine. And then as you exhale, press your heels down and your hips up at the same time. Let's try that a few more times. Inhale here, exhale here. All right, good. Now shoot your left foot back into a lunge and bring your hands to the inside of your right foot like a lizard lunge. And just make some movements with your hips. Check out this first lunge, see how it feels. Now step back into plank pose. Just take a few breaths here in plank. Tighten your thighs, tighten your glutes, tighten your abdomen. Push the floor away. Even spread your shoulder blades. Okay, now lower all the way to the floor with control. And once you're down, stretch your arms forward into the full prostration, also known as Danda Samarpana. Fill your torso with breath here. And then slide your elbows under your shoulders for Sphinx pose and see if you can create a little more length in your waist, like you're trying to drag your rib cage forward. Then, once you've created some more length, bend your knees and make circles with your shins so you rotate your thighs. And reverse it, go the other direction. All right, good. Bring your feet back to the floor. Now slide your hands under your shoulders. Inhale the upward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. And then back into downward facing dog. And once you're in down dog, maybe pedal your feet back and forth a little bit and or shift your hips a little side to side. All right, let's change that. Step your left foot forward into that lizard lunge and check out this side. Make some movements here. All right, step your right foot forward to meet your left. And then let's come back in that squat. So on your fingertips and toes, arms between your knees. Inhale here, extend your spine. Look forward, look up even a little bit. And then as you exhale, press your heels down and your hips up. Let's inhale, stand up and sweep your arms overhead. Keep inhaling until your palms touch. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. Let's start again. Inhale as you reach up. And then exhale as you fold forward. Now inhale to that squat on your toes, look up. And this exhale, step your right foot back. Just take a breath in the lunge. And now in one exhale, step back and lower to the floor with control. And stretch your arms forward, take a full breath in. Exhale as you slide your hands under your shoulders. And inhale the upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Let's take a breath in down dog. And then step your right foot forward. Take a breath in the lunge. And then step your left foot forward. Inhale to that tiptoe squat. Arms between your knees. Look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. One more of those together. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to that squat. This exhale, either step or if you like, hop back and lower all the way down. Once you're down, stretch your arms forward, take a full breath in. And then exhale as you slide your hands under your shoulders. Inhale to up dog. And then exhale back into down dog. Let's take a breath in down dog. And bend your knees, look forward between your hands. Very end of exhale, either step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale to the squat. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. Let's just try a couple more of those now on your own, at your own pace. And once you're in downward facing dog this time, let's stay there. Let's all meet in this down dog. You're going to press the tops of your thighs back a little bit further this time. Tuck your chin. Exhale all the breath out. Very end of this exhale. Suck your navel back towards your spine so you hollow out your abdomen for a second or two. After a second or two, relax your abdomen. Inhale and repeat. Exhale all the breath out. And then all three bandhas. Okay, now come down to your hands, knees. Let's just do some bird dogs to help with our balance and, of course, core strength. So from all fours, the next time you inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg up. Now, as you exhale, bring your left elbow to your right knee. When you inhale, reach again with your left arm and right leg, and then we're just going to repeat the same side 5 or 6 times. Exhalations, you're bringing your left elbow to your right knee like you're doing a little bit of a diagonal crunch. When you inhale, you're reaching with your left arm and your right leg. Now, of course, focus your eyes on one spot on your mat to help with balance. And keep pushing the floor away actively with your right hand, especially the inner edge of your right hand. And now stay in this position with your left arm and right leg up. So your left bicep is by your left ear. Point your left thumb to the ceiling. Maybe spin your right thigh up a little bit more away from the floor. Keep pushing the floor away with your right hand. Okay, let's come back down to all fours and change sides. Now right arm and left leg lift up. When you exhale, right elbow to left knee. Yep, like the first side, 5 or 6 more times. Inhale here, exhale here. Now keep your right arm and left leg up. Right thumb pointing to the ceiling. Spin your left inner thigh away from the floor. Push the mat. Push into the mat with the inner edge of your left hand. Okay, good. And back down to all fours. Inhale here, and then let's just sit back in a child's pose. Knees about shoulder width or so. Forehead to the floor. Sit back to your heels, and then breathe into your back like you're breathing into the area behind your heart. All right, now stay in child's pose. Let's kind of walk your hands over toward the left side of your mat. Level out your shoulders, then breathe into the right side of your rib cage as if you could breathe more into your right lung. Okay, change sides. Walk your hands over toward the right side of your mat and breathe into the left side of your rib cage and your left lung. Okay, back to the center. Now let's just slide forward into crocodile pose. And once you're in crocodile pose, focus on, like we did in the original full prostration, maybe all of them. Really focus on filling your torso with breath. Feel your abdomen fill into the floor, press into the floor. When you inhale, feel your lower back lift away from the floor, rib cage expanding. Okay, let's do the side scorpion. So bring your right arm out to the side, palm down, roll to your right, and bring your left foot someplace near your right hand. Split your legs. So slide your right foot away from your left foot. Left foot again is reaching towards your right hand. Take a few breaths here. And change sides. Bring your left arm out to the side, roll to your left, and bring your right foot someplace near your left hand. Split your legs. All right. Unwind. Back into upward facing dog. And then back into downward facing dog. Okay, now step your right foot forward to your right thumb. So you're in a lunge again, but from the lunge, our stance is a little too long, I guess we'd say. So from here, just hop your left foot forward a few inches and then turn your left heel down. Now stand all the way. So we're going to do this kind of pyramid revolve triangle variation. So we don't want our feet too far apart, but they're definitely apart. One foot, the right foot's in front of the other one. Let's say about one of your leg lengths. So when we do, we're going to do this balancing variation of eventually revolve triangle. So what I'm going to ask you to do is bring, in this case, your left hand on top of your right foot, not to a block, not to the floor, not anything else. Bring your left hand to the top of your right foot. Even try to keep your fingertips off the floor. I will say too, I highly suggest bending your right knee at least a little bit. Bend it a lot if you need to. Don't think about, in fact, straight front leg is super low on the priority list for this one. It's non-existent basically. So without further ado, bring your left hand to the top of your right foot. And for right now, just have your right hand on your right hip. Find your balance here. You might need to readjust your feet a little bit. Might need to bend your right knee a little bit more. That's fine. But left hand on top of right. So ideally, the only thing touching the floor are both of your feet. Now, once you feel stable, begin to turn your shoulders to your right. Once you can't turn your shoulders to the right anymore, then reach your right hand up. And just take a few breaths here. A lot of times, once you're here, most of us need to kind of pull our right hip crease back a little bit toward the back end of our mat. So feel free to give yourself that little adjustment, internal adjustment. Great. Now keep your balance and stand all the way up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start here, and we're going to go down and twist, and then stand back up multiple times. Remember what we did at the very beginning? We did that standing twist. I'm going to have you inhale here, exhale as you twist, but we're also going to incorporate a fold as well. And remember, do your best to keep bringing your left hand to the top of your right foot. And especially during the moving part, up and down, bend your front knee. Bend it at least a little bit. Okay? All right. Inhale, bring both arms up. Now, as you exhale, bring your left hand to your right foot, turn your shoulders to your right, and reach your right hand up. The next time you inhale, stand up again, both arms overhead. And by the way, for this one, I suggest just focusing your gaze on one spot on the floor. Just look toward one spot on the floor. Exhale, left hand to right foot, right hand toward the ceiling, same time. Inhale, stand up, both arms overhead. Let's try that 5 or 6 more times. Exhale down, inhale up. See if you can make the movements a little smoother and see if you could do those two movements at the same time. So as you begin to lean forward, also turn your shoulders. Do those movements at the same time. And this time, stay down again. We'll take a few more breaths here. Okay, now unwind and bring both hands to the floor and just sink back into a lunge. The next time you exhale, step back to down dog. Okay, now this inhale, dive forward right into up dog with your toes curled under. And then use the strength of your core to pull yourself back into down dog, not child's pose. And then just take a moment here to adjust in down dog. Smooth out your breath if necessary. Just being still for a moment. All right, let's change that. Step your left foot forward to your left now. Remember, from here, your feet are a little too far apart, so hop your right foot forward at least a few inches, then turn your right heel down. Stand up, readjust if necessary. And then first we'll just go down and hold in those stages. So from here, left hand to your left hip, lean forward and bring your right hand to the top of your left foot. Even try to keep your fingertips off the floor. So the only thing touching the floor are your feet. Left knee is at least a little bit bent. Bend it a lot if you want to. Okay, once you feel stable, begin to turn your shoulders to your left. And then once you can't turn anymore, then reach your left hand up. Let's take a few breaths here. Okay, now keep your balance. Next time you inhale, stand up and bring your arms overhead. Just like the first side. Exhale, right hand to left foot. Turn your shoulders and reach your left hand up. Inhale, stand up, both arms overhead. Yeah, about 6 more times. Like the first side, fold forward and twist at the same time. And then stand up and untwist at the same time. Now this time, stay down again. Take a few more breaths here. Okay. Both hands to the floor. Take a breath in the lunge. Exhale back to down dog. And then dive forward right into up dog. Use your core to pull back to down dog. Readjust here in down dog. Smooth out your breath. Find that stillness again. All right, good. And bend your knees, either step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale to that squat. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then arms down. Let's take a few breaths again in mountain pose like we started class. Press down to both feet. All right, now let's balance on one foot. So focus your eyes and lift your left foot off the floor. Lift your left foot up. Use your arms however you want for balance. Stand really tall. Take a few more breaths. And like always, if you want a little more challenge, close your eyes, but keep breathing. Good. Now change side. Lift your right foot up. Stand nice and tall. Eyes can be opened or closed. All right. Okay, now let's try revolved half moon. Just like we're that revolved triangle we did, but you're going to balance on one foot, so it's going to be harder. Now, a couple important things. Maybe the most important thing is you want to focus on your back leg. So in a moment here, I'm going to lift my left leg up. And I want to have as much awareness in that leg as I can. If you forget about your leg and it's kind of lazy, it actually makes it kind of harder. The more I can engage that leg and hip ultimately, like we did when we were in that bird dog, the better it's going to be. The more solid it'll be. And like we did in the revolved triangle, I would suggest bending your bottom knee, whatever foot you're standing on, bend that side knee at least a little bit, maybe a lot. A lot of you know that straight legs in standing poses is highly overrated. Straight legs in yoga is highly overrated, especially for this one. So we're gonna go in stages again. I'm gonna have you twist at the end. First, we're gonna find our balance. Okay, so bring your right hand to your right hip. Lean forward and lift your left foot off the floor. Lift your left leg like it was in bird dog. Let your right knee bend at least a little bit. Just bring your left fingertips to the floor someplace. Then lift your left leg a little higher. Okay, now, once you feel really stable and your left leg is engaged and hip is engaged, then begin to turn your shoulders to your right. And finally, lift your right hand up. Now, for this one, you could look at one spot on the floor, one spot on the wall, one spot on the ceiling. Any of those things are good. Don't forget about your back leg, though. Take a few more breaths. Okay. Then go ahead and unwind and stand up. Take a breath. And then change sides. Now, left hand to your left hip. Lean forward. Let your right leg lift up like it wasn't bird dog. Let your left knee down here bend. Bring your right fingertips to the floor. Right leg should feel like it did earlier in bird dog. Then begin to turn your shoulders to your left when you're ready. And eventually reach your left hand up. All right, good. Unwind. Keep your balance. Stand up. And take a few breaths again in mountain pose. All right, now we're really going to challenge your balance. We're going to go from this one we did earlier to this one. Now, And in fact, and let's incorporate that arm movement we did a few times now, a couple of times anyway. In some ways, it actually makes it a little bit easier. Some ways a little more challenging. But I'm going to ask you to inhale here and exhale here. For this one, though, I suggest focusing your gaze on one spot on the floor the whole time to help with balance. This is obviously going to be a challenging one. We're gonna try to do it for 1 minute on one foot. If you need a break, take a break. If you need to stay in one of those positions for a moment and kind of find your balance, that's fine too. But we're gonna spend 1 minute on one foot. Try to do those movements at the same time, which will be most challenging. And don't forget, bend your bottom knee when you're moving up and down. Bend it. Ready? Okay, we're gonna start with our left leg up. Bring your left leg up. Let me look at my clock. Okay, arms up. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring your left leg back, left fingertips to the floor. Turn your shoulders to your right and reach your right hand up. And then from there, inhale, stand up again. Don't let your left foot touch the floor. Arms overhead, left leg forward and up. And then again, as you exhale, twist, left leg back. Inhale, both arms up, left leg forward. One more together. Exhale, left leg back, left fingertips down. Turn your shoulders to your right. Inhale as you stand back up. Okay, keep going. Probably a few more times at least. All right, both feet down. Both feet down. Take a moment to adjust. Find that stillness again. Smooth out your breath. Let's change sides. Right leg up. Arms overhead. When you're ready now, as you exhale, right leg back. Bring your right fingertips to the floor. Turn your shoulders to your left. And then from there, inhale, stand up. Both arms overhead. Don't let your right foot touch the floor. Yep, keep going, just like the first side. Exhale down. Inhale when you stand back up. All right. Both feet to the floor again. Stand up nice and tall. Smooth out your breath. Okay, let's return to that squat we did a bunch of times. Settle in here for a moment. As always, feel free to just stay here and work on your squat. Otherwise, lift your heels a little bit higher, shift weight forward onto your hands. So next you have weight on your hands and your toes. Eventually, maybe all the weight on your hands. Take a few breaths there. And then either step or hop or crawl back. And we'll end up in the crocodile. Let's do the crocodile locust combo. Really good for stabilizing the hips, strengthening the glutes. So from here, keep your head down, but just lift your legs up. And then when you inhale, open your legs as wide as you can. When you exhale, squeeze your legs together. Inhale, open your legs wide. Exhale, squeeze your legs together. Try that 5 more times. Okay, then relax. Let's just push back into child's pose. Like we did earlier. Once you're there, focus on breathing into your back like you're breathing into the area behind your heart. Okay, let's come up to seated toward the front of your mat and just do a little rocking back and forth. So hold your thighs. And next time you exhale, rock back, watch out for your pets, and then rock forward. Let's try that a few more times so you massage the muscles along your spine. Try to make those rocking movements nice and smooth. If you feel like you're kind of landing hard in the rock, engage your abdomen more and draw the front of your low ribs in. So the rocking is, again, nice and smooth. If you want a little more core engagement, then don't hold your legs anymore. Still rock back and forth. And still a little more core engagement. When you rock forward, find your balance in boat pose. So don't let your feet touch the floor. All right, good. Now bring your feet down. Have them about hip width and lean back on your hands just so we can do some easy windshield wipers. So when you exhale, drop your knees to one side. When you inhale, bring them back up and then change sides. Keep going, just like your chins are windshield wipers. Okay, now, the next time you drop your knees to your left, keep them there. And like I'm about to here, you might need to readjust so you have both knees on the mat. And then instead of doing a 90-90 for now, flex your knees all the way. So bend your knees all the way. And again, keep your knees on the mat for extra padding because we're going to lift up and down. Now, today we're going to stay to one side repetitively for about a minute. So use your hands if you need to, of course, but ideally, eventually, try not to use your hands. Just use the strength of your core and your hips to lift up and then go back down. Now you can inhale up, exhale up. Either one's really fine here. But think about lifting up and then landing softly from the strength of your hips and your core. If you want a little extra credit on the way up, also isometrically squeeze your knees towards you so you get more inner thigh, even pelvic floor activation. And when you're up, you're really thinking about opening the fronts of your hips. Land softly. Keep going. Same side. Okay, now change sides. So drop your knees to your right. Flex them all the way. Keep your knees on the mat, some kind of cushion. When you're ready to lift up, squeeze your knees toward each other, open the fronts of your hips, and softly come back down to the floor. Oh, great. And just stretch both legs forward and sit up nice and tall in staff pose or dandasana. Sit real tall here. Take a few breaths. All right, now let's do the 99 twist. So bend your knees again, drop them to your right. This time, do sit up 90-degree angles. So your right hip will be down, left hip is off the floor. And bring your hands to the floor outside your right thigh. Now from here, it might feel good to keep your hands on the floor. Forearms down, one forearm down. Any one of those are good. Now turn your shoulders to your right. And take 5 or 6 slow, smooth breaths here. Okay. Unwind and change sides. Drop your knees to your left. Set up the 90-degree angles on this side, and then twist. All right, unwind. Stretch both legs forward again, and then fold forward and hold your feet. If you can't reach your feet, bend your knees until you can. Okay, now lie on your back. Let's just do a little bridging. And like we did last couple of times, let's change up the breathing pattern a little bit. I'm going to ask you to push your hips up when you exhale. So keep your arms down for now. Keep your arms just down, period. Next time you exhale, push your feet on the floor. Push your hips to the ceiling and see if you can really open the fronts of your hips by engaging your glutes. And then when you inhale, slowly lower your hips back down. And repeat as you exhale, push your hips up. When you inhale, lower your hips down. 5 more times. Now this time, keep your hips up and take a few more slow, smooth breaths there. All right, lower your hips. Just draw your knees into your chest, make some circles with them. Just massage your lower back on the floor. Okay, then when you're ready here, we're gonna do some form of shoulder stand. You can always just lift your legs up or legs up the wall, lock under your hips, blanket under your elbows, whatever form, variation of sarvangasana, shoulder stand that you prefer, that you feel is appropriate for your neck. Just the next minute or so. And then back toward plow. As always, a plow hurts your neck. Modify heavily or just skip it. All right. Lower to your back. Now, once your back and your hips are on the floor, take a minute to do whatever it feels like you need to do to make yourself super comfortable. Just take a minute to do whatever it feels like you need to do to prepare for Shavasana. Once you have settled in, make sure you allow your upper and lower rows of teeth to separate. Feel your tongue widen inside your mouth, soften your eyes, even release your breath so you're not shaping it or controlling it. Not really practicing pranayama right now, but continue with your pratyahara. So you're still drawing your awareness inward, observing on the inside, almost like you're observing someone else. Just to notice the breath rising and falling through both nostrils. And also notice if the flow of the breath is stronger through your right or left side. And once you've noticed which nostril feels more open, draw your knees into your chest and roll to that side. You roll to the side of the dominant nostril, then stay on that side, using your bottom arm as a pillow for a moment to allow the nostril flow to balance out. All right, now begin to work your way up to seated in into any comfortable seated posture. Let's come into any comfortable seated posture now. Once you're sitting nice and tall with the crown of your head directly over the base of your spine, close your eyes and practice Jiva Mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to touch the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. Bring the tip of your tongue to touch the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. And let's also practice pranashuddhi, which is like mental or psychic alternate nostril breathing. Without controlling your breath, the next time you inhale, just notice the breath moving up your right nostril, all the way to the spot between your eyebrows. The next time you exhale, notice the breath moving down your left nostril. And then reverse it. When you inhale, notice the breath ascending through your left nostril to the eyebrow center. As you exhale, feel the breath descending down your right. Then continue doing that at your own pace. But remember, you're not trying to control or shape your breath anymore. You're simply observing the sensation the breath creates when it moves through one nostril, and you keep alternating sides. Okay, now relax all effort and bring your palms together to Anjali Mudra. Take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. And now start to rub your palms together and create a little heat in your hands. Once you build some heat, rest your hands over your eyes, feel it moving in, recharging your senses. Take one last slow, smooth breath in here. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed class. Remember, if you did enjoy class, tell your friends. Help us spread the word about our app and on demand site. Have a fantastic day, and I hope I get to see you again soon. Welcome, Dale, Marina. I'm so happy.